Hey everybody, hope you're all having a good week so far. Normally I get out videos on Wednesday, but I've been stuck at home because the weather and I guess my days got kind of confused. Typically I do it on Wednesday. I guess I've agreed to do it either Wednesday or Thursday, but normally most of the time it's going to be on Wednesday. But yeah, alright, so that being said, we've been talking about LTC quite a bit, and we'll go over that chart here in a minute. But I do want to cover something on BTC. So BTC is finally having a couple green days here. We've pretty much fallen from a new all-time high all the way back down to about 93. So you've got this range of consolidation, right? Might wick through it or whatever, but we need to really bounce from where we're at because the trend line right here is getting pretty close to being broken. Okay, so we're just kind of flirting around with this. I mentioned that I thought we'd probably revisit 110 or so, but if we sell off here for some reason, you'd probably revisit, and then breaking this trend line, you'd probably revisit a lower price over time. If we can go back to 110, we could go sideways, and then the alts would probably rally there. If we don't break out of the north side of this and close some candles, then if we do that, then we're probably going to go to 150 or whatever. If we break below this, we're probably just going to follow this pattern that we've been talking about for a really long time. So again, this is a rising wedge. It's a very bearish pattern. I don't think anybody has talked about this, which makes it a little bit more likely to be true, which I would prefer BTC go to the moon. Okay, but it's just something to be concerned about and to keep in the back of your mind. So yeah, that pretty much, well, actually here. So there is a formation that is bullish for BTC, and we have a falling wedge here. Okay, so if we look here, if we draw this up here, and then we draw that down there, you're probably going to hear my emails going off. Okay, these formations are typically bullish. If we can break to the upside, which pretty much what we've done now, we should go up at least to around this zone up here. Okay, so it looks like we've broken out, and we haven't closed yet, but this can get a pretty good candle. So things look pretty good there. You've also got a cross, and then you're probably going to cross on the MACD daily, which is going to push momentum back to the upside. I've talked about this bullish divergence here, hidden bullish divergence. It's bullish divergence because it goes straight across when price is going up here. Okay, now if the indicator were going down, right? So the indicator's going down, and then price is going up. That's bullish. That means that there's going to be a reversal, but since it's a daily, it's not super strong. So it could just go up 5% or something like that. It doesn't have to go up a whole bunch. Give me a second, guys. I just got distracted with something at work. Just 1 second. Maybe just a couple minutes. Okay, sorry. I'm doing this middle of work because once I get off work, I gotta go get some food with my son and then go to my jiu-jitsu class, which is actually later in the day, and then I'm gonna go out tonight and do some country swing. So won't really have time between jiu-jitsu and that. So okay, so back to this, the bullish divergence. So on the daily, things look really good. The 3-day, you also have bullish divergence on a 3-day as well. Okay, once we pass through the 20 line, as long as we've got green candles over the next 3 days, 6 days, we should pass through here, pushing momentum a little bit higher. And the weekly, we could still have another test of this for rejection somewhere up at this price. So basically this is still at play. Okay, once this breaks this, even if the altcoins have gone up several 100% from there, if and once this does break this trend line, most likely it's going to fall pretty low, and the altcoins are going to fall probably really quick, 30 to 50% probably. Then you should have another leg up, which would push the altcoins higher in price over the year. Okay, and just remember, just like every other bear market, altcoins fall like 80 to 95%. Some of them 99%. That's why a lot of the meme coins that are went on a tear or whatever, a lot of those I wanted to get out and put into some more solid projects, right? So I haven't bought any of the speculative meme coins because a lot of those are going to go away. They're going to go to zero, or they're going to lose 99% of their value, right? So I'm thinking more long-term investments. You can make good money on those, but eventually the money stops flowing, and the people that made money end up losing their money in those trades. Because you have to know when to stop trading those meme coins. Things like BOEM, its volume was very high, so that's why I bought some. I think I placed 2 large orders, and those are both down. So it's nothing really to talk about on BOEM. We can look at the chart here in a little bit, but I still think that one's probably gonna go up. It's just down from where we bought it. It broke trend lines and everything because BTC's fallen. So that was a pretty high risk trade. But things like Doge should still go up, just like everything else we're looking at. Okay, so let's look at LTC and see what it's doing. Excuse me. Okay, so you've got your bullish doji here, and then you've got your bullish engulfing candle. It would have been better to close above here, but it still looks pretty good. I'm expecting this week to cross on the stochastic RSI, pushing more momentum into the market. So for example, we crossed right here, and then price ran up from 60 to about 100%. Wave 3 should be bigger than all of them. So if we take the bottom here to this point, that's 182%. So wave 3 should be bigger, which it's going to have to be a lot bigger, right? So we can see that doesn't really make a whole bunch of sense, but what we can do here is say this is wave 1, so wave 3 should be bigger. So this from this point to this point, 200%. So it should be bigger than 200%. This wave 3 of 3. Okay, so 200% brings us to about $300, pretty close. $250. Okay, so it could stop at about 280 at this level of resistance here and pull back a little bit, or it can come all the way back up to about 400 bucks. And then I would expect another fifth leg to the upside. So this would probably look a lot like XLM and XRP. Once it finishes its move. And then you'd have some sort of, if this whole entire wave 3 makes it up here, this is kind of just like an XLM or XRP move, you'd probably have some sort of quick 70% correction, okay, and then a final leg to the upside. I'm going to go ahead and go over the token that was mentioned in the group. Channel says TICS, Grok 3 says TICS is the place to be for most rapid gains if 5,000 invested today. So let's look at that one. TICS. Okay, so it doesn't show up here. TICS. Well, it doesn't show up on. I mean, I can show you what it. This is what it shows here. Quebedex. Doesn't have any information. Plus, it's not on TradingView. So I don't know where that one came from. Okay, let's take a look at. So take kind of a mental screenshot of this image here, and we're gonna look at XLM. Okay. So it kind of looks similar here, but XLM did pull back a little bit closer than, where LTC would be at, $400 or so. So that's something we'll have to watch as well. But from what I'm looking at here is that this has only completed a wave 1. This is of wave 3, right? A wave 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, and then we're still missing a 5, which should break us to a higher level. There is a chance that, well, if we break out of this pattern, we're probably going to go somewhere up here. Okay, that could be at the end of the bull market. That could be wave 5 of 3 in general. Okay, so you're just going to have to keep an eye on that. Probably indicators are looking similar to everything else. Yeah, and wave 5 would give us divergence. There'd be you actually have bullish divergence here on the 3-day too. So this thing should break out, right? I think that's, I would say that's divergence. Okay, so you got a cross on the daily as well. So hopefully this thing does break to the upside. If we break out of this pattern, it should be pretty good. And the weekly still doesn't really look great. But you can have bearish divergence that forms. So hopefully by the end of this month, everything would look really good. Hopefully closing green at the end of the month, and then having a pretty bullish month next month. I'm going to send a picture to the group really quick. So let's look at XRP. Yeah, I mean this month has been bought up quite a lot. So you literally broke out. You came down to retest this level of support and this level of support, and you're getting a pretty bullish candle. This doesn't close for about 9 days. But it still looks really good. I think the weekly looked pretty good too. Yeah, I mean you've got a huge wick here, retest of this trend line, bullish engulfing candle. So hopefully we're going to break out here in the next couple weeks and start to visit the $6 and then $8. One thing that worries me a little bit about this from an Elliott wave perspective. I mean, it looks like you could have done 5 waves here for 3. Okay, but based on the Bitcoin dominance and everything like that, I'm saying that we probably have more to go up for this wave. So you don't want to just use one. You don't always want to just use one indicator. You want to use multiple charts and kind of take that data and make decisions based on that. Okay, let's look at the Bitcoin dominance. Okay, so we did sell off a little bit here. We're coming back down to revisit, or coming back up to revisit resistance here. Probably push this a little bit higher just in case. What we really want to see here is to be rejected from this point. We do not want to. I mean, I guess you could come back up and test this line. Anything closing past that line, you're probably going to go higher. Okay, but let's see how we test here. Hopefully we just get a rejection and start to fall. Oh, I think that one's at the pre-sale. Quebec's is at TICS is in the pre-sale. Which you'd have to figure out. I've done pre-sales before. I did H-Bar as a pre-sale. And H-Bar I bought at 15 cents and it fell to 2 cents. Okay, it's up now, but 5 years later. Pre-sales are not always the best because the wealthiest people get to get in there. It's basically like donating money for the owners to sell their tokens, and I'm sure there's some that do pretty well, but I've never gotten in any. I'd rather just wait for something to fall and consolidate and then buy it. Okay, let's take a look at Doge. Nothing really going on with Doge. Still just in this pattern. We want to cross on the stochastic. There's a good chance that we do bottom here and then we start to run up again. We need to get out of this pattern the next time we revisit that. Let's look at the 3-day here. Yeah, nothing there really. And nothing there also. Sometimes you can use trend lines like that, and it helps determine like where the actual bottom is. But it can reverse where it's at now, because you've got a low here, you've got a high here, you've got a higher low, you've got a higher high. Now you could just, I mean, it should stop between here and, you know, down to somewhere around here. So it could turn around right now. Again, if it does turn around and we make a higher price, this is going to probably come back around. This will come back around, and then Doge is probably going to make a higher price with the MACD having some sort of divergence, and then that would be your top for Doge. This move top, not cycle top. At least if that happens within the next couple months. Okay, ICP, we'll take a look at that since we've been looking at that. It didn't look super great the other day. But now this starting to look better. You do have a recross here. You've got some bullish divergence on a daily, so this is probably going to get pushed back up to about $9. If we break past that, then we'll start to move. I did mention BOEM, so let's take a look at BOEM. I really figured we'd stay in this pattern here. If BTC struggles, then everything struggles. So let's see if there's some other pattern here we could look at. Not really. You know, maybe this weekly will close. Yeah, we need to get back in this pattern. if we got back in this pattern, I'd probably consider buying some more. And that could happen at the end of the month. This could get bought back up and then have a bullish hammer candle or something like that, doji, and then actually start to take off. We can take a look at ADA real quick. Yeah, ADA looks pretty good. I mean, it's got bought and back up here. And it's back within this pattern. Like if we go to a longer time frame, maybe a weekly, you didn't have a confirmation close. So sometimes you get one close and you get out of the pattern, and then the next one comes back in. You need two patterns. You need another candle closing outside of the pattern to be bearish. Okay, even on the 2 week, we pointed this out. You had this really strong hammer here. Okay, so hopefully this thing really takes off. Okay guys, I really don't have anything else to go over. If you guys want me to cover any other coins on Sunday, let me know. Like, everything's pretty much doing the same as it has been. Nothing really new there. So y'all have a good week, and I will talk to you all on Sunday.